What's up, y'all? I'm sorry I can't go live, but I'm gonna get this as close to live as possible. I'm gonna release this video as soon as this is done. This is a breaking news. If you guys have not heard, House Speaker Kevin McCarthy has basically been voted out. He has basically been fired from his job. He was voted out. Let's see here. I don't know if it was yesterday or it looks like actually a few hours ago, probably like maybe 2 or 3 hours ago. Based off of what I'm seeing, I see that he's speaking live now. I want to go to the video with him with you guys right now. So let's see if we can jump into this live video.
I'd love to be able to.
Well, the video isn't going live anymore. I stopped it. Apparently it's over, but I wanted to show you guys where I picked up on it.
I've been a part of the leadership team for quite some time. We won 2 majorities. As leader, I'm proud of the fact we only gained races, only gained seats. I'm proud of the fact as a Republican leader, we elected more women. We elected more minorities.
Republicans
we expanded the base.
Are leading the House. And
I'm proud of the fact that for the 5 years I was leader, 2 election cycles, we gained 5 more seats in California, 5 more in New York. We won in places no one thought we could win. The same thing, you would underestimate me. You always said we'd lose each time around. We kept gaining. I intend to make sure that we gain and keep the majority in the next cycle as well. With that, I look forward to your positive questions.
Oh, let's go back and see what he said.
Well, I'll look at that.
You still obviously command a lot of loyalty within the conference. We've heard you say approximately 10,000 times that you never give up. So I'm wondering, why not? Why did you make the decision not to put your name forward again and try to grind it out like you did when you won the job in the first place?
You know, you need 218 for the rule, 218 to move forward. And I'll never give up on the American people. That doesn't mean I have to be speaker to do what I have to do for the American people. There's a lot of things I could do for the American people. But you know what's interesting? Everybody's sitting there. In today's world, if you're sitting in Congress, and you took a gamble to make sure government was still open, and 8 people can throw you out as speaker, and the Democrats who said they want.
And that's the thing. This is the same guy who avoided the government shutdown at the beginning of this month, basically 2 days ago. So the same guy who avoided the shutdown on Friday is now being removed as the House Speaker, which is the first time this has ever happened in U.S. history.
Wanted to keep government open.
Make sure y'all like and subscribe. We're going to be pumping out videos. I think you got a
real institutional problem. Interesting. It was in this room after we had won the majority. I had become speaker list, and Nancy Pelosi came to me. She was speaker at the time on the way out. And I told her I was having issues with getting enough votes. She said, "What's the problem?" I said, "They want this one person can rule you out." She was the only speaker that changed that rule. I had the power to call the vote on her, but I never would. I lost some votes because of it. And she said, "Just give it to him. I'll always back you up." I made the same offer to Boehner and same thing to Paul, because I believe in the institution. I think today was a political decision by the Democrats. And I think the things they have done in the past hurt the institution. They just started removing people from committee. They just started doing the other things. And my fear is the institution fell today. Because you can't do the job if 8 people, you have 94% of or 96% of your entire conference, but 8 people can partner with the whole other side. How do you govern? And for them to make a motion on me because I made a decision for the country that they agreed with, but they choose to do the other, that becomes a problem. Yes, sir.
So, one, are you planning on endorsing a successor to you? And then
I might. Yeah. I don't know who's running that. I'll talk to people.
And when you look back, is there anything you could have done differently to what those 8 members?
Yeah, a lot of them I helped get elected, so I probably should have picked somebody else. You know, we you know, I love these 200. They've gone through so much. They're down in the conference. They want me to. They'll say they're going to keep voting for me. I think you should put the country first. This job was never about me. I hope you felt that I always felt, what can we do best to move forward? I mean, I treated Hakeem the way I wanted to be treated. I'd tell him things we were doing throughout, so he never was questioned. I wanted to bring the body back differently. We created a select committee on China. I changed the Intel committee. They just came back from MIT where they all had bipartisan briefing on AI and quantum. If you can always count on the other party to vote in the block against it, then you're allowing 4 to 5 people to control whatever. So it doesn't matter even if you have 96%. So that is not a government that works. That is chaotic. Yeah. Okay, go right ahead. I don't think it says about the Republican Party. I think it says something about some people who are not a conservative. I mean, if you were a conservative and you only had one entity making the battle and you vote against securing the border, you vote against cutting this wasteful spending, and then you partner with all the Democrats. Now you'll phrase it all the other different ways. That's not a conservative. Look, you all know Matt Gaetz. You know it was personal. It had nothing to do about spending. It had nothing to do about everything he accused somebody of he was doing. It all was about getting attention from you. I mean, we're getting email voted against God. They don't get to say they're conservative because they're angry and they're chaotic. That's not the party I belong to. The
really
party
is.
of Reagan was if you believed in your principles that you could govern in a conservative way. They are not conservatives and they do not have the right to have the title. Yes.
The longer you sit up there, the more you show it.
Why do you say that? Because your question doesn't hold true to history. When Donald Trump was president, we did tax reform. You can look at all of our different successes. So, I mean, you may dislike the policy, but we've been very successful. You watched the Abraham Accords. I mean, you can go victory after victory. The price of gas, we were energy independent at the time. We had more businesses growing at the time. We didn't have to evacuate our embassies. You know, it's easy on its merit to see the difference of what Biden has destroyed America to what the policies we were able to create. Yes, sir. No, we didn't ask for anything. No. And, you know, I have a lot of respect for Hucky. He wants to win the majority. I heard what they said in conference, you know. Why would they vote for me if I've won every time as leader? I raised 70% of all the money. It's an opportunity for them. The real question to the 8, why would you enable and allow the Democrats to do it?
I wouldn't be surprised if he run for president if he said he got 70% of the money.
What concessions did I make? To what? Look, I'm not going to, no. I'm a Republican. I win by Republicans and I lose by Republicans. It's not that way. And so did I work with, I believe you should work across the aisle. I worked across the aisle at times. Do I want to make the bill the most conservative possible? Yes, that's the goal. It's difficult when you can't get 218 for the conservative bill. And then they want to challenge you when you went and solved and kept the government open. Yes, sir.
The last few months, you've been a firewall against the debt ceiling crisis. Government shut it down.
We did pretty well, didn't we?
How big of a risk do you think a shutdown is in November without you as speaker?
Oh, other people can do the job. You know, it's interesting. I've never received so many texts from so many senators about how big a play we just did the other day, or how many congratulations about the debt ceiling and the other. I mean, if I would go back to the days before the debt ceiling, none of you even thought I'd get a meeting with the president. All of you'd ask me, is it going to fall off the cliff? End of the day, we worked an agreement out. Some of those people got mad about it, but 2/3, the highest number of Republicans ever voted for a debt ceiling when you had it. And you only negotiated based upon the deal we went. That was the moment they wanted to go after, and that's what they continue to follow through.
You mentioned that
Yeah.
by negotiating, making the part of the job.
You should. Look, government's designed that you have to have compromise. No, you can't get everything that you want. You know, you got a House, you got a Senate. But I get more to the question.
Well, my question was just going to be that some of the criticism leveled at you today by both Democrats and by Republicans. Is that we're having
It'd be interesting if the Republican
In which way?
candidate for president chooses him as a running mate.
part of that keeping your word.
In which word did I not keep? Name one thing I did not keep.
Gates says that there's several things you keep
No. Tell me, what did Gates say? What did I not keep in Gates' mind? Because Gates had never been a part of a discussion. Just because Gates said something, don't believe it's true. I haven't heard him say one true thing yet.
Democrats say you next.
On what? On what?
On the debt.
That is not true.
But
So no. If you're going to ask the question, you're going to say it. Tell me how I did something different on the debt ceiling bill. Any of you. Tell me what I did different on the debt ceiling, that I didn't keep my word.
You said it was a floor, you said it was a ceiling.
Is it not a ceiling? Okay, this is the Okay, no. When you agree to spending levels, that's the maximum amount you can spend. This is what is wrong with Washington. Because it's the height that you can spend, you can also spend less. We're a different body. So does any of you believe then the Senate broke their word on the debt ceiling? Because they spent more than the limit. But somehow I'm wrong because I want to save the taxpayers more money. We're our own body. I have 2 children. If I give them each $100 for dinner and one spends 100 and one spends 80, am I going to yell at the one who spent 80 and said, oh my God, you got to spend it all? It's not our money. And why am I getting criticized because I'm fighting for the American people that we can eliminate waste? And you know what? We're our own body. So if we can pass the bills and the Senate can pass the bills, but they pass them higher, but they haven't passed anything, somehow I'm wrong. I kept my word. I did not spend over the limit. They broke their word.
You don't feel there's a transaction.
Okay, you used the word, how was I transactional? If you ask a question, I want you to show an example. Give me an example.
The definition is basically this for that.
So what did I do this for that?
Well, on the Ukraine, on the CR, we've been talking about leading in, leading out, and then finally put it out.
No, you're making no sense. What transactional did it? No, I did no transactional. I tried to pass a conservative stopgap measure that secured the border and actually cut spending. When that didn't go, the only bill that was going was sitting over in the Senate that had a stopgap measure, disaster, and Ukraine. I made a decision as Speaker to keep the government open, and I put something on the floor. And let me get this straight to all of you, because someone said, 72-hour rule, I'm the only one who's lived by it. We're the ones who created it. We never broke the 72-hour rule. The bill I put on the floor was a suspension, which takes a 2/3 vote. And you know what? You can put a suspension on a rule, and you can waive it based upon the leadership. That's exactly what I followed. So my question to you is, when somebody says something, don't take it that it's gospel. Why don't you ask them to point? When Gates said I didn't follow, said, show me one place. You saw Massey, Thomas Massey, who is the hardest line person, say we followed all the rules all the time. That he was in the room when the agreement was made, and then we surpassed what we said we would do. So if you ask me a question, I'm going to answer back, because when it's not true, it's not fair.
How important is it that the Speaker of the House be a member of the institution? Some members are floating.
They always float some of the names. Yes, you had. Okay. First of all, you got to be in the institution to understand how it works. And look, it's legal to have somebody else. I just do not think that would ever be good. And do I regret? You start with this question. Well, I don't think you've ever been positive on it yet, but come on. I have high hope. This is going to be exciting. That's a good thing.
But do you regret not reaching out personally to people like Nancy Mace, Tim Burchett, who sat down on the House desk today and told reporters that you said something condescending to him?
Okay, let's get through this. I personally like Tim Burchett, and I called Tim Burchett because I read his quote. And Tim Burchett's a friend of mine, which I'm kind of shocked by this. And Tim Burchett, in his quote, said he's leaning towards no, he's on CNN, but I'm going to pray about it. So I pick up the phone and call him, because I didn't think he was already there. I said, Tim, I read your quote. You said you're going to pray about it. I want to talk to you about it. And somehow he construes that I'm a Christian. I'm not going to offend somebody. I simply read his quote back. I thought there was still an opening, and I wanted to talk to him about it. He never mentioned anything when we were communicating like that. And they said, Nancy Mace is a whole nother story. Okay. Let's just be honest here. This is the one that I just got a text from a primary opponent saying, why'd you spend $3 million? But I called Nancy Mace's chief of staff yesterday. And because I called the chief of staff. Well, she was on The View saying I didn't keep my word, so I didn't know what to listen. I can't say this in the press, but okay. But so I no, that you keep it among yourselves, right? Wait till my book. No. So I call her chief of staff because, I don't know, maybe I don't connect her with someone else, but I just said to him, I said, can you please tell me, I don't understand, where have I not kept my word? You know what her chief of staff said? You have kept your word, 100%. Members come to me, and one thing, I don't like the idea that a member comes and tries to leverage me. I don't go for that. I'll vote for the bill. That's not well. But if you have a problem with the bill, I want to help you. But I can't sit there and write your entire bill and work it all the way through committee. We just got our one bill out. They came back, the other bill doing on guns, it just wasn't working. Do I do something else? We did something else. I just don't appreciate. Look, I bite my lip. I let people say things that are not true, but it's not right. It is not right. Her chief of staff told all of us we have kept every single one of our words. And he said he's told her that too. Now, somehow he gets fired, I'll still give him a job.
Last question.
Well, I'm being too honest now.
Your argument about the health of the institution might have resonated more than the past, if not previous response to January 6th. Do you regret?
Oh my God. No, but do I regret the Democrats playing games with January 6th? Yes. They played so many politics. What they did to this institution and what they did to this building was so wrong. The idea that they put magnetometers there, the idea that they would go to any Republican member that they had been co-sponsors of bills and they no longer could be a co-sponsor, that they would fine members $5,000 if the magnetometers went on. But when Nancy went around it, or Clyburn was supposed to get a fine, it all got waived. The idea that bills didn't have to go through committee. The idea is they created a select committee on January 6th and they wouldn't let the minority appoint who to do it. Look, I'm trying to change all that and bring the body back so they can work together. But I think they did a lot of damage to us. Yes, sir.
I was trying to ask the appropriation bill one by one. What are your expectations for that process?
Well, that's always been my goal. I just talked to Mitch yesterday, and I had to call into Schumer, and I talked to Hakeem last night. What I was going to do is with disaster. I'd gone out to Hawaii. We looked what happened in Florida. Those people shouldn't be held back. And we could finish doing it all individually, but somehow they think that's a dirty word. Yes. Oh, yeah, we Jackson Cole. Oh, my poor mom. Have you guys met my mom yet? My mom's fabulous. My mom's this Italian lady. And she calls me the other day. She said, she gets worried. She reads what you guys write. And she says, I'm so nervous. I said, why, Mom? It's all right. She said last night she went in the house and she left her car running in the garage all night long, right? And my mom only fills her car up once a week at Costco on Wednesdays, then calls me because the price, she still lives in California, the price of gas is so high. She asked me what I'm going to do about it. But look, I think this job is always harder on your loved ones than you yourself. So they'll be okay.
Did he just say that she left her car running with the gas on in the car running in the garage? Basically meaning she tried to kill herself?
Okay.
Did you make a side deal with the White House?
No.
Unequivocally,
Look, unequivocally, my mom's fabulous. My mom's this Italian lady. And she calls me the other day. She said, she gets worried. She reads what you guys write. And she says, I'm so nervous. I said, why, Mom? It's all right. She said last night she went in the house and she left her car running in the garage all night long, right? And my mom only fills her car up once a week at Costco on Wednesdays, then calls me because the price, she still lives in California, the price of gas is so high. She asked me what I'm going to do about it.
Maybe she
But look, I think this job is always harder on your loved ones than you yourself. So they'll be okay.
Sorry, did you make a side deal with the White House?
No.
Unequivocally, no.
Unequivocally, no. Oh well, if you want to categorize this, let me see, because people think some big side deal. I did tell when we were doing the stopgap measure, there was a concern in there. Does it have transferability on money? I believed, and my staff believed it did. But what I did say to the White House, if it does not, if you think some way it doesn't do it the way I will fix that. I did say that, and I did say I do. Look, I support arming Ukraine. That doesn't mean sending them cash, but arming Ukraine. But I have been on the White House even before they sent this supplemental. I said, you guys are doing it all wrong by just sending us a supplemental. And I think the president is failing here because he's not telling the American public what is the mission. Now, we have a lot of members who are Navy SEALs who've been in theater. And
I'm going to go ahead and end this, y'all. Make sure y'all comment, like, subscribe, and check us out in the next few videos. I'm going to leave this up here for y'all to watch, but once this is portion of the video ends, I will go ahead and end the video.
F-18 pilots, and they're frustrated. They want to support, but they don't want to support an ever-ending war. They want to see what's going on here. And I've really been on the White House. You got to come down